Arizona Republicans are still trying to challenge the 2020 election, and they're getting pretty desperate. The Arizona Capital Times is reporting that the GOP-led state Senate is conducting an audit of former President Donald Trump's election loss in the state with the assistance of a cybersecurity firm. Now, you're not going to be surprised. The cybersecurity firm is also a proponent, or at least the head of it, is a proponent of the Stop the Steal movement. And by the way, it's not just Arizona. They're also doing this in Michigan now. And they are using a method that comes straight from the fever swamps of QAnon, which is great. Ron Watkins, the former 8kun administrator, or 8chan, is rumored to be the originator of QAnon conspiracies, and he believes that using a UV light to reveal the absence of fingerprints on ballots will prove their theory once and for all of the massive election fraud in 2020. And so, guess what? This is exactly what they're using in Arizona right now. Now, Ron Watkins is a pretty crazy person. He used to run one of the shadiest parts of the internet, the dark web, where pretty much anything goes on. I mean, that's a forum for white nationalists, white supremacists, Nazis. In fact, it's gotten so bad that there are so many, that they've lost so many hosts because of how their website has been linked to numerous terror attacks, or at least people on that website have openly talked about and incited violence and actually planned those violent attacks. It is and that, by the way, that includes the shooting at Christchurch and the January 6th Capitol riot. So those are a couple of examples of people that had, events that had been planned on this platform. Now, it's this website is a home of far-right conspiracy theories, climate change denialism, and of course QAnon. And so what's funny about Watkins is that he's getting involved in this, and his people on this website, on 8kun or 8chan or whatever you want to call it, they're deeply involved in American elections for some reason. He doesn't even live in the United States, Ron Watkins. He lives on a pig farm in Manila. So that's kind of weird. Why is he getting so wrapped up in our elections? Why is he so invested in our elections? Super shady. Now, apparently, he's been watching live streams of the audits online, and thanks to streaming by One America News, and claims to have seen evidence that they were doing this wrong, that they need to do the UV light in a certain way, and hey, yeah, if we only do this a certain way, then we can reveal the fraud. But it must be like a deep state conspiracy to do this wrong, so that whatever. It's pretty ridiculous. But here's what he said. Called Python earlier and had a chat about the potential use of UV light. Since UV is able to detect oil from fingerprints, if there are no fingerprints in the ballot, then the likelihood of the ballot being marked through a non-human process is high. And this is, of course, what the cybersecurity firm Cyber Ninja is trying to use to prove that there is election fraud. Now, it's important to note that Cyber Ninja CEO Doug Logan was involved in Stop the Steal and has interacted on social media with Mr. Watkins. And so they're connected. Now, this company, again, is using ultraviolet light to scan ballots, looking for secret watermarks. So the conspiracy, too, is that, well, not only if there are no fingerprints in the ballot, but also Trump put a secret watermark on so-called official ballots. And so if the watermark's not there, then it's a fake ballot, and therefore you got to throw it out. Now, the thing about this is that there is no secret watermarks on official ballots. But you see where this is going, right? When they don't find the watermarks, they're going to say, oh, look at that, it's fraudulent. It's all fraudulent. And they'll basically claim that these are all fake, and then they'll demand the real ballots, which of course nobody can produce because there were no actual watermarked official Trump ballots. So that's going to feed into the conspiracy theories, which is exactly what they want. This is what they want. And what's really sad and messed up about this is that you have officials in Arizona that are like, oh no, this is totally above board. Let's do it. Yes, let's bring in the UV scanners and let's scan the ballots. They're giving these conspiracy theories credence. We have elected officials hiring so-called cybersecurity companies to use UV lights. They're so desperate because they can't handle losing. Not only that, but of course, they're probably getting a lot of pressure from Republican voters. Half of all Republicans have been conned into believing that Donald Trump is the real president, that Biden didn't actually win. I mean, to this day, they're still doing this. They're still saying this. And these continued audits and recounts and all that will do two things. Prove nothing about election fraud. Actually, do three things. Prove nothing about election fraud. Will not change the outcome. And third, they will fuel the conspiracy theories. Because conspiracy-minded people will make a conspiracy out of everything, especially if the conspiracy beforehand has already been debunked. And as long as conservative politicians and media can make money, can profit off of these narratives through clicks and views, then they will continue to spread it. And, of course, push people down the rabbit hole with the help of YouTube and social media algorithms. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.